The child was supposed to be dead. Admiral Sova read the report 3 times, his grayscales shifting to pale white with each reading. 3 years ago, a human colony ship called Horizon's Dawn had crashed on Varos 7. No rescue was sent because Varos 7 was a quarantine world. The Galactic Council had sealed it off centuries ago for one simple reason. Something lived there that killed everything it touched, the Vastborn, Category 9 predators. Creatures so dangerous that entire fleets had died trying to study them. 40-foot serpentine dragons with scales like black glass and eyes that glowed like dying suns. They could shoot down warships with the energy they stored in their bodies. They had destroyed the Kelrani homeworld in a single night. The galaxy had learned to leave them alone, but now a distress beacon was pinging from the planet's surface. And the life signs showed one human. A child, still alive after 3 years on a death world. How is this possible? Sova asked. Director Pell Hansen, the human diplomatic officer aboard the rescue vessel, leaned forward. He was a thin man with tired eyes. He had lost family on that colony ship. A sister, her husband, their daughter. We need to go down there, Hansen said. That child survived somehow. We need to know how. The scans show a Vastborn within 200 meters of the human signal, Sova replied. The child is being hunted. For 3 years. Sova had no answer for that. Dr. Bina Okoye, the human xenobiologist, was already launching a probe. She was a woman who believed in facts before fear. The probe shot down through the atmosphere, through clouds of orange and gold, to a mountain range where the signals overlapped. The bridge crew waited in silence. The probe's camera activated at first. They saw only rock and strange purple plants. Then the camera pan left, and everyone stopped breathing. A Vastborn lay curled at the base of cliff. It was massive, bigger than any ship in the fleet. Its scales were black with patterns of soft blue light running along its body like rivers. 6 powerful legs were tucked beneath it, its tail wrapped around something. A little girl sat against the creature's side. She had brown hair tied in messy braids and wore clothes made from animal skins and crash ship fabric. She was maybe 7 years old. Her small hands were weaving flowers into the thick mane that ran down the Vastborn's neck. The creature was sleeping. The girl was humming. By the stars, Dr. Okoye whispered. Hansen gripped the console so hard his knuckles went white. He recognized that face. Those were his sister's eyes looking back at him through the probe's camera. Lily, he breathed. That's Lily. Admiral Sova's claws scraped against his command chair. Power the weapons. Prepare a strike team. Wait, Hansen said. She's not being attacked. Look at her. She's comfortable. She's not afraid. She is in shock. She does not understand the danger. She's been there for 3 years. If that thing wanted to eat her, it would have done it on day 1. Sova shook his head slowly. His species did not understand sentiment. They understood survival. And nothing about this scene matched what he knew about Vastborn. The girl on the screen suddenly looked up. She had heard the probe. She waved at the camera with a bright smile, then turned and said something to the sleeping creature. The words came through the probe's microphone, but they were strange. Half of them were human words. The other half were deep rumbling sounds that no human throat should be able to make. The Vastborn opened one enormous eye. The probe's signal died instantly. The creature had killed it with a single focused burst of energy, precise as a surgeon's knife. Sova stood. Prepare the bombardment. You can't, Hansen said. My niece is down there. Your niece is already dead. She simply does not know it yet. That creature has claimed her as prey, is toying with her. When we approach, it will use her as bait or a shield. This is what Vastborn do. Dr. Okoye spoke quietly. Sir, with respect, nothing in our records shows Vastborn behaving this way. They kill immediately and efficiently. They do not keep prey alive for years. They do not let other creatures touch them. Then what is happening? Okoye looked at the frozen final image on her screen. A little girl smiling against the scales of a monster. I don't know, she admitted, but I think we need to find out before we start shooting. Hansen stepped toward the Admiral. Give me one chance. One landing team. Let me talk to her. Let me understand what happened. Sova studied the human for a long moment. These strange creatures confused him. They formed attachments so easily. They let emotion cloud their judgment. It was a weakness, but sometimes he had seen that weakness turn into something else. Something dangerous and unpredictable. One team, Sova said finally. If the Vastborn attacks, I will burn that mountain to glass. The child included. Do you understand? Hansen nodded. Then go. And pray your species' famous luck holds one more time. Hansen was already running for the shuttle bay. Behind him, he heard Sova giving orders to charge the orbital cannons. The clock had started, and somewhere on the planet below, a little girl was telling her grandmother that visitors were coming and asking if they could please be nice to them this time. The fire was too hot to touch. 4-year-old Lily Brennan stood in front of the burning metal, reaching toward it again and again. Each time the heat pushed her back. Each time she called out, "Mommy? Daddy?" No one answered. The colony ship Horizon's Dawn had broken into 3 pieces when it hit the mountain. Lily had been in the cargo bay, strapped into a safety seat her mother had put her in when the alarm started. The seat had saved her life. The emergency foam had wrapped around her body and kept her safe while the world turned into fire and noise. Now the foam was gone. The seat was broken, and the part of the ship where her parents had been was burning. Lily did not understand death. She only understood that her mother and father were not coming out, and she could not go in to get them. She sat in the dirt and cried until she had no more tears. When the sun went down, she found a box of food bars in the scattered cargo. She ate one because her stomach hurt. She found a water bottle and drank. Then she curled up under a piece of metal sheeting and tried to sleep. The second day, she walked. She did not know where she was going. She just knew she could not stay near the fire. The smoke hurt her chest. The smell made her sick. She found more food in another piece of wreckage. She put in a bag she found. She kept walking down on the second night. A storm came. The wind screamed like an angry animal. Rain fell so hard it hurt her skin. Lightning turned the sky white and purple. Lily ran without knowing where she was running. She found a cave that IT was big, bigger than her house back home. The entrance was wide enough for a shuttle to fly through. But it was dry inside, and the wind could not reach her there. Lily walked into the darkness. She was too tired to be afraid. Then she saw the eyes point 2 spots of soft golden light far back in the cave. They were watching her. They were huge. Lily stopped. She should have run. Any other creature would have run. But she was 4 years old. She had just lost everything she loved. And somehow, those eyes did not look hungry. They looked sad. She walked closer. The creature was hurt. Lily could see that now. There was a long wound along its side, old and poorly healed. Its breathing was slow and rough. Its scales, black as night, had lost their shine. Blue light flickered weakly along its body that IT was dying. Lily did not know what a Vastborn was. She did not know that this creature had destroyed armies. She did not know that entire species had been wiped out trying to fight its kind. She only saw an animal in pain. She remembered her mother. Back on their farm, her mother had healed wounded birds. Sick dogs. Once, even a wild cat that had broken its leg. Always help when you can, her mother had said. Even when you're scared. Especially when you're scared. Lily reached in her bag and pulled out her water bottle. It was half full. She walked up to the massive head, to those golden eyes that watched her every step. The creature could have killed her with a thought. The energy in its body, even weak as it was, could have turned her to ash in an instant. IT did not move. Lily pressed her small water bottle against the creature's lips. The mouth was as big as she was tall. Teeth like swords lined the jaw. "Drink," she said. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." The Vastborn drank. Gently, carefully. It took only a little, leaving most of the water for the child. Lily smiled. "Good. That's good." She sat down next to the massive head. The scales were warm. The creature's breath smelled like smoke and something sweet. "My name is Lily," she said. "What's your name?" The creature made a sound. It was low and deep, like thunder far away. Lily tried to copy it with her small voice. She could not, but she tried. "That's hard to say," she admitted. "Can I give you a different name?" The golden eyes blinked slowly. Lily thought about it. This creature was old. She could feel it somehow. old and tired and alone for a very long time. It reminded her of someone. "Grandmother," she said. "I'll call you grandmother. My grandmother told the best stories. She died before I was born, but Mommy told me about her." The creature made that thunder sound again. Softer this time. Lily took it as yes. She curled up against the warm scales, pressing her small body into the creature's side. Outside, the storm raged. Inside, she felt safe for the first time since the crash. "Don't worry, grandmother," she whispered. "I'll take care of you, and you can take care of me. We'll be a family." The Vastborn, last of her kind, destroyer of worlds, ancient beyond counting, felt something she had not felt in 5,000 years. Hope. Her tail curled around the tiny human child. Her body adjusted its temperature to keep the small one warm. And for the first time in longer than stars had burned, she slept without pain. Outside, the storm passed. Inside, a monster became a grandmother, and a little girl began a legend. The shuttle touched down on broken ground. Director Pell Hansen stepped out first. The air smelled like copper and strange flowers. The sky above was orange with streaks of purple. Everything about this world felt wrong, but somewhere ahead, his niece was waiting. Doctor Bina Okoye followed him, scanning equipment in her hands. Behind them came 4 soldiers in heavy armor, weapons ready. They all knew what they were walking toward. They all knew they might not walk back. "Life signs ahead," Okoye said. 200 meters. Both signals are stationary." Hansen nodded and kept walking. His heart was pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. They came around a rock formation and stopped. Lily was standing in a clearing. She had seen them. She was waving both arms above her head, jumping up and down with excitement. "People," she shouted. "Grandmother, look!" People came. Behind her, the Vastborn rose. The ground shook. Hansen grabbed Okoye's arm to keep from falling. The soldiers raised their weapons, then immediately lowered them. What was the point? Their guns were toys compared to this creature. The Vastborn was bigger than the shuttle. Bigger than anything Hansen had ever seen up close. Its scales were black mirrors reflecting the orange sky. Blue light pulsed along its body in slow waves. 6 legs, each as thick as tree trunks, supported its massive form. Its head turned toward the humans, and golden eyes studied them with an intelligence that made Hansen feel very small. "Hold positions," he said quietly. "No sudden moves." Lily was running toward them. She stopped halfway, looked back at grandmother, and said something in that strange mixed language. Half words, half thunder. The Vastborn made a low rumbling sound. Lily nodded and turned back to the humans. She walked the rest of the way at a normal pace, stopping in front of Hansen. She looked up at him with eyes that were so familiar it hurt. "Hi," she said. "Are you nice?" Hansen knelt down, so he was at her level. Lily. "Yes, we're nice. We came to help you." "Help me with what?" "We came to take you home." Lily frowned. "This is home. I mean back to space. Back to other humans. I'm your uncle, Lily. Your mother was my sister." The girl's eyes went wide. "Your Uncle Pell? Mommy talked about you. She said you worked on a big ship and you were very important." "That's right." Hansen felt tears building behind his eyes. "I'm so sorry I wasn't here sooner. I didn't know you survived." "It's okay. Grandmother took care of me." Hansen looked past her at the massive creature. It had not moved. It was just watching. "Lily, that creature is very dangerous. We need to get you away from it." "Grandmother isn't dangerous. She's nice. She catches food for me and keeps me warm at night. She taught me how to find water and which plants are safe to eat." Dr. Okoye stepped forward slowly. "Lily, can you ask grandmother if we can come closer? We want to talk." Lily brightened. "Sure." She turned and shouted to the Vastborn in that rumbling language. The creature responded with a series of deep sounds that vibrated in Hansen's chest. "She says you can come closer, but your weapons make her nervous. She says the last visitors had weapons too." Hansen and Okoye exchanged looks. "What last visitors?" Hansen asked. "Some ships came about a year ago. They shot at grandmother. She didn't like that. She had to make them go away." Up in orbit, Admiral Sova was listening through their communication link. His voice crackled in Hansen's earpiece. "The Kelrani scout mission. They were lost near this sector. Now we know why. Hansen ignored the Admiral. Lily, we won't shoot. I promise. Can you tell grandmother that? Lily translated. The Vastborn made another sound. She says she will believe it when she sees it. Grandmother is very smart. She says most creatures lie. Tell her humans don't lie. Not the good ones. Lily laughed. Grandmother says all creatures think they're the good ones. Hansen almost smiled. This ancient monster had a sense of humor. In his ear, Sova spoke again. Director, you have 15 minutes. Then I begin bombardment. Hansen's blood went cold. Sir, we're making progress. Give me more time. The Vastborn is too close to your position. If it attacks, you will all die before I can respond. 15 minutes. Lily was watching Hansen's face. Is something wrong, Uncle Pell? Some people in space want to hurt grandmother. They're scared of her. Lily's expression changed. She looked back at the Vastborn, then back at Hansen. Her small face was very serious. You can't hurt grandmother, she said. She's my family now. She's all I have left. The Vastborn scales began to glow brighter. Blue light rippled across her body like electricity. The air grew warm. Sir, Okoye said quietly, the creature is charging. It knows. Somehow it knows. Hansen looked at the monster. It was watching the sky, watching for ships, preparing to fight, and wrapped around its front legs, a 7-year-old girl stood guard over her grandmother with nothing but her small body as a shield. Admiral, Hansen said into his communicator, if you shoot, you'll start a war you cannot win. Stand down. There was silence from orbit. Then Sova's cold voice. 14 minutes, Director. Make them count. The emergency transmission reached every ship in the sector. Doctor Bina Okoye stood in front of the shuttle's camera, broadcasting live to the Galactic Council. Behind her, the Vastborn glowed with barely contained power. Beside the creature, Lily was teaching the soldiers how to play a clapping game she had invented. Council members, Okoye said, I am showing you what no xenobiologist has ever seen. A Vastborn caring for another species. For 3 years, this creature has hunted for this child, built shelter for her, regulated its body temperature to keep her comfortable. This is not predation. This is parenthood. Admiral Sova's face appeared in a small window on the screen. The creature is manipulating you. The Vastborn are intelligent. They understand deception. Then explain why it hasn't attacked us. We've been here for 20 minutes. We are within killing range. If it wanted us dead, we would be dead. On another screen, First Speaker Allen of the Torani Council watched silently. He was old, his gray scales faded to almost white. He had seen many things in his long life. He had never seen this. The Vastborn destroyed the Kelrani homeworld, Sova continued. They killed billions. Did anyone ask why? Okoye asked. Silence. Okoye turned the camera toward Lily. Child, can you ask grandmother why her people attacked the Kelrani long ago? Lily nodded. She walked over to the Vastborn and spoke in that mixed language she had learned. The creature's response was long, with many different tones. Lily listened carefully, then walked back to the camera. Grandmother says the Kelrani came to their nesting ground first. They killed the babies. All the babies. Grandmother's babies, too. Her people were very angry and very sad. So they went to the Kelrani home and made them pay. Okoye looked directly into the camera. The Vastborn were not attackers. They were parents protecting their children. When that failed, they were parents getting revenge. First Speaker Allen spoke for the first time. If this is true, the Galactic Council has spent 10,000 years calling victims monsters. It is true, Lily said. She walked up to the camera, her small face serious. Grandmother showed me pictures. In the cave, there are walls covered with old paintings. Her babies are there. She looks at them every night before she sleeps. She cries sometimes. I try to make her feel better. Admiral Sova's scales shifted color. This is a trick. The child has been trained. Sir, with great respect, Director Hansen said, stepping in a frame, I knew this child's mother. I know this child. She is not lying. She does not know how to lie. And that creature behind her has had 3 years to kill her. Every day it chose not to. Every day it chose to feed her instead of eating her. Protect her instead of hunting her. Love her instead of using her. He pointed at the Vastborn. That is not a monster. That is a grandmother who lost everything and found one small reason to keep living. On the screen, first speaker Alan rose from his seat. Admiral Sova, you will stand down. First speaker, my orders come from the Council as a whole. Then I invoke emergency protocol. As senior diplomat, I am assuming direct authority over the situation. You will not fire unless I give the command personally. Sova's image flickered with anger, but he said nothing. Alan looked directly at the camera. Director Hansen, I am coming to the surface. I wish to speak with this creature myself. Sir, the risk? I have lost children too, Director. My clutchmates died in the border wars 60 years ago. If there is even a chance that this creature understands that pain, I must know. The transmission ended. Hansen looked at Okoye. Did that just happen? I think so. Lily tugged on his sleeve. Uncle Pell, is the angry lizard man going to stop trying to hurt grandmother? I hope so, sweetheart. A very important person is coming to talk to her. Lily smiled. Good. Grandmother is tired of fighting. She told me she just wants to be left alone with her garden and her human. Hansen knelt down. Her human? Me. I'm her human. Lily said it like it was the most obvious thing in the world. She's my grandmother, and I'm her human. That's how family works. Behind them, the Vastborn made a soft sound, almost like a purr. Okoye checked her scanner. Her energy levels are dropping. She's standing down. Hansen watched the ancient creature slowly lower herself back to the ground. Lily ran over and climbed up on her massive paw, settling into a spot that was clearly her favorite seat. She knows, Hansen said quietly. Somehow she knows we're not enemies. Maybe, Okoye replied. Or maybe she just trusts the child's judgment. Hansen thought about that. A creature that had destroyed civilizations, trusting a 7-year-old human girl. Maybe that was the most human thing of all. Above them, a shuttle descended from orbit, carrying the first speaker toward a meeting that would change the galaxy forever. First speaker Alan walked across the broken ground alone that he carried no weapons. He wore no armor. His old body moved slowly, but his eyes were clear and steady. Behind him, his guards stood at the shuttle, forbidden to follow. Lily met him halfway. She studied the old Torani with curious eyes. You look very old, she said. Alan made a sound that might have been a laugh. I'm very old, child. Older than most of my species ever live. Grandmother is older. She's older than stars. So I have heard. Will you take me to her? Lily nodded and took his clawed hand in her small fingers. She led him toward the Vastborn like she was introducing a new friend to her family. The creature watched them approach. Her golden eyes fixed on Alan with an intensity that made his scales itch. She could kill him with a thought. They both knew it. He stopped 3 meters away and lowered himself to one knee, a position of respect among his people. Great one, he said. I come to listen. Will you speak to me? The Vastborn made a long, low sound. Lily translated. Grandmother asks why she should talk to you. Your kind has hunted hers for 10,000 years. I know. I cannot undo what was done. I can only try to understand. Another rumble from the creature. She asks what you want to understand. Why did your people destroy the Kelrani homeworld? The Vastborn's body tensed. Blue light rippled across her scales. When she spoke, her voice was different. Harder. Older. Lily's face went serious as she translated. Grandmother says, we were guardians once. Before your little civilizations crawled from your birth worlds, my people protected the young races. We watched over them. We taught them. We loved them. She paused, listening to more of the deep sounds. Then the Kelrani came. They were greedy. They wanted our energy. They thought if they harvested our young, they could take our power for themselves. They came to our nesting grounds. They killed every egg, every hatchling. My children, all of them. Lily's voice shook. She had heard this story before, but it still hurt. We went to the Kelrani world to make them stop. We destroyed their ships. We destroyed their weapons. We only wanted them to stop killing our babies. But they would not stop. They kept fighting. They kept attacking. So we ended them. All of them. And the galaxy called us monsters. Alan was silent for a long moment. His old heart ached with a pain he had carried for 60 years. I understand, he said finally. I lost my clutchmates in a war long ago. They were killed by raiders who wanted our territory. I survived. They did not. I have lived with that emptiness ever since. The Vastborn's eyes softened slightly. Grandmother says she is sorry for your loss. Lily translated. She says empty hearts are the same, no matter what body they live in. Alan looked at the child, standing between him and the ancient creature. And this one? How did she become your grandchild? The Vastborn made a sound that was almost gentle. The small one found me when I was dying. I had lived alone for 5,000 years. I was tired. I was ready to end. Then she came into my cave with her little water bottle and her brave eyes. She gave me water when I had nothing. She gave me purpose when I had forgotten what living meant. Lily walked over and put her hand on the creature's massive paw. She is my child now. The translation continued. Whatever her blood says, whatever your laws say, she is mine and I am hers. I will destroy any who try to take her from me. Alan rose slowly to his feet. Tears were running down his scaled face. He did not try to hide them. I believe you, he said, and I will tell the council what I have learned today. The Vastborn are not monsters. They never were. They were parents, just like us. He turned to Director Hansen, who was watching from a distance. Director, I am ordering a full review of all historical records regarding the Vastborn. The quarantine of this world is lifted. This creature and this child are under the protection of the Galactic Council. In orbit, Admiral Sova's voice crackled over the communicator. First speaker, I must protest. This is against all protocols. Then change the protocols. The universe is bigger than our fear, Admiral. Today we learned that even monsters can love. I think that is worth protecting. He looked back at the Vastborn. The ancient creature had lowered her great head to the ground. Lily was climbing onto her snout, settling between her golden eyes. Grandmother says thank you, Lily called down. She says she was getting tired of waiting for someone to listen. Alan bowed his head. For the first time in 10,000 years, a Vastborn was not alone, and a galaxy began to question everything it thought it knew about monsters. 6 months passed. The small colony on Varos, 7 had grown from nothing to 12 buildings. Human engineers worked alongside Taurani builders, creating a research station unlike any in the galaxy. At its center, in a valley surrounded by purple flowers, the Vastborn rested in the sun. Lily sat on her favorite spot between grandmother's eyes, reading a book Dr. Okoye had given her. She was learning to read better now. Uncle Pell made her practice every day. Lily, Hansen called from below. Come down. We have visitors. She closed her book and slid down the creature's snout, landing on her feet like she had done it 1,000 times. Because she had. The visitors were Taurani, 5 of them, dressed in formal robes. They walked slowly, carefully, their eyes never leaving the massive creature watching them approach. First speaker, Alan, led the group. He had visited many times since that first meeting. He and grandmother had spoken for hours, with Lily translating. They had become something like friends, but today he looked different. Nervous. Sad. Grandmother, he said, bowing low, we have brought something for you. One of the Taurani stepped forward carrying a small device. She pressed a button and sound filled the valley, singing, deep, beautiful, thundering singing that made the air shake. Grandmother's head rose. Her eyes went wide. Her scales flickered with light. What is that? Lily asked. Vastborn songs, Alan explained. From before the war with the Kelrani. We found them in an old archive. We thought they had been destroyed, but a researcher discovered them last month. Songs from your grandmother's people, child. Songs from when they were still many. The music continued. Voices like mountains. Melodies like storms rolling across oceans. It was the most beautiful and the saddest thing Lily had ever heard. Grandmother's whole body began to shake. A tea first. Lily thought she was angry. Then she saw the tears. Vastborn tears were not like human tears. They were drops of pure light, golden and glowing, falling from those ancient eyes like stars being born. They splashed on the ground and made the flowers glow. Grandmother, Lily cried, running to her. Grandmother, what's wrong? The creature made a sound. Not words that Lily could translate. Just pain. Pure and endless pain. She's hearing her family, Alan said quietly. Her children, her brothers and sisters, her whole people, singing together one last time before they were taken from her. Lily climbed up the creature's face and pressed herself against the warm scales. She wrapped her arms as far as they would go, which was not very far at all. Don't cry, grandmother. Please don't cry. The Vastborn's voice rumbled through her body. This time, Lily understood without translation. I'm not sad, little one. I am happy. I thought I would never hear them again. I thought their voices were gone forever. But here they are. My babies. My family. Singing to me one more time. Lily held tighter. You're not alone anymore, grandmother. You have me. And now you have them too. The music played on. The Torani stood in silence, witnessing something sacred. Director Hansen wiped tears from his eyes. Dr. Okoye recorded everything, knowing that this moment would be studied for generations. When the last song ended, grandmother lowered her head to the ground. Lily slid down and stood before her, small and fierce. Grandmother wants to say something, she announced. Everyone waited. The ancient creature spoke, and Lily translated. For 5,000 years, I hated the galaxy. I hated every creature that looked at me and saw a monster. I hated myself for surviving when my children did not. I was waiting to die. The golden eyes turned to look at each person present. Then a small human gave me water. She asked nothing in return. She offered kindness when she had nothing left but kindness to give. And she called me grandmother. Lily reached out and put her hand on the massive snout. This child taught me that the galaxy is not only cruelty. She taught me that love can grow in the strangest places. She taught me that being the last of my kind does not mean I am alone, because family is not about blood. It is about who chooses to stay. The creature rose to her full height, and for a moment, everyone remembered why the Vastborn had been feared. I will protect this world. I will protect these people. And when I finally die, many years from now, I will die knowing that a human child gave a monster back her heart. Lily clapped her hands. Does that mean you're happy now, grandmother? The thunder purr sound that came from the creature made everyone smile. Yes, little one. I am happy now. Hansen stepped forward. Ambassador Lily, I believe lunch is ready in the main building. Lily grinned. She loved being called ambassador. It made her feel important. Coming. Grandmother, I'll be back soon. She ran toward the buildings, braids bouncing behind her. The most important diplomat in the galaxy, 7 years old, raised by a monster, loved by everyone. Admiral Sova watched from his ship in orbit. He had been assigned to permanent patrol duty around Varos 7, a punishment for his eagerness to fire that he still did not trust the Vastborn. He probably never would. But as he watched the feed from the surface, he saw something that made him pause. A child laughing. An ancient creature at peace. Humans and Torani working together. Maybe the warning about monsters had come too late, or maybe, for the first time in galactic history, that was exactly early enough.